Hey, good morning. It's about 6:45 on a Monday. I walked up to the Phrom Phong BTS and I'm going to ride down to Siam Central Station and get on the dark green line and head across the river to Thonburi. And we've arrived, Thonburi. Now, it took 10 minutes to go from Phrom Phong to Central Siam Station, change trains. That was the light green line running up Sukhumvit. Then I got on the dark green line and headed towards Thonburi over here, and that took 15 minutes. And that's looking towards the Chao Phraya River. On the other side of the river is the Sapan Taksin BTS station. That's where you'd get off and get on all the tourist boats, water taxis. You can get on a water taxi to head across the river to this side and go over to the Icom Siam Mall, fanciest mall in probably Thailand. I did a video on it. I'll put a link in the description. Or you can catch a free water taxi to head up to Asia Teak. Kind of a little touristy area, but it's fun to check out at least once. Here's the IDO building, Satorn Taksin. You can also catch the Gold Line train, which is, or at least when I was on it a year ago, it's not part of the BTS system. It's just a 4-stop. This is 2023, so maybe they're going to extend the stops, but basically it's a small train line where you can go directly to Icom Siam. You do have to exit the BTS system and enter the Gold Line system, and it's a separate pay, and off you go. I don't know anything about this area. I know they call it the Brooklyn of Bangkok. It's supposed to be where all the cool kids came 10 years ago when prices were more affordable, and so they're ended up with a large amount of cool coffee shops, and I think there's some art going on over here. So what I'm gonna do is, on the other side of this building, we're close. You can see that traffic heading over the bridge. I'm not sure if that's the Taksin Bridge. I assume it is, going into Sapan Taksin. Again, I'm just winging all this. So that's heading off towards the Chao Phraya. We are going to go in this direction down exit 2 off to the left and make our way towards the direction of the river and the Icom Siam Mall. Via Satorn condos right at the train station. And I read the tallest building in Bangkok. I thought it was that King Power building over in Satorn where they have the plexiglass walkout. But it said no, I thought they said 2 towers right on the Chao Phraya over by Icom Siam. So I'm assuming these are the buildings with even that extension up on the roof to make it, I think it's 10 meters taller than the King Power building. Even at whatever time it is, 7:20 a.m., it's definitely much more mellow over here, just a short distance from the busy Satorn financial area. There's the King Royal 2. It says room for rent daily, 700, monthly rates available. Now I've walked a small way, I don't know what that is, 200 meters from the train. It just kind of makes an S-turn. Above is the tracks for that Gold Line. This is going to be the main street up here, and I'm going to make a left, but instead I'm going to duck up this alley. It looks a little bit more interesting, and then take a right. Yeah, it's definitely more a local vibe on the alley here. Just plenty of street food, people getting ready to start their day. So now I'm going to walk down that short distance and make a left under the busy street, and you can see the hotel off in the distance where they shot The Hangover 2 up on the rooftop bar. And that was Charon Nakhon 14, that alley I just came off. And right here is a little shopping complex, something to light under a condo building. Let me walk up here without getting hit by a motorbike. The lighthouse. Looks like a Tops Daily, bunch of restaurants. So what we did, we got off BTS Thonburi, off to the right, a good 200 meters, maybe a little further. This is the line for the tracks for the Gold Line. Walked up this way and made a left. We're now on Charon Nakhon Road, and we're gonna head up in the direction of Icom Siam. Now the Chao Phraya River is off to the right. I'm not exactly sure how far. I'd guess at least 200-300 meters. Maybe not that far. That building right there, it's probably on the river. Usually well, there's the Icon Siam, which is on the river right in front of me. So I'm closer to the Chao Phraya than I thought. And I guess the lighthouse is the name of the condo. And it just happens to have a bunch of businesses down below. Some Michelin guide Thai food, it looks like. That large building is the Peninsula. I always think of the Peninsula as being a hotel, but it kind of looks like a fancy condo. I'm not sure. The Peninsula next to Icon Siam, if you want to look it up. You know, I'm gonna guess that that's the. I think it's a 5-star hotel, but I'm not certain on that. And here's Soi 12. Just looks like some small private homes, no large condos or anything. And to get your boundaries, that I believe is the base of that taller building is the condos right at the Thonburi BTS, I think. And this looks like a Wat. I'm not sure the name is in Thai. Yeah, some monks standing there. I don't want to stick a camera in their face. Although here comes another YouTuber. Here's the name right in front of me, Wat Suan. Now on the other side of the street from the Wat looks like a cool little neighborhood Soi. Maybe I'll make my way over there. There is a walk bridge here, but I'm gonna keep walking at least until the Icon Siam Mall, which is straight ahead. And again, it's a guess on my part. Maybe I'll walk to the base of it, but I believe those are the tallest towers in Bangkok. Maybe they went up when the Icon Siam went up, I don't know. And just barely beat the record of the King Power height. This Wat's pretty impressive. I went by the Hua Lamphong Wat on a Friday evening, and I'm not sure if that is the time where they do funerals, because just walking through there, I couldn't really film anything. It was one funeral after another in different rooms, and the monks were sitting there doing meditation and prayers and on, and it was just a real gathering and send-off. And I'm not sure what that is. Right across the way it says the Oriental Spa, Mandarin Oriental Health Center, Thai Cooking School, Thai Culture Program, the Oriental Hotel. And off in the distance, that's probably right on the river, I see the Mandarin Oriental. I think that's another 5-star, and I think that might be the place. I could be wrong. Again, I'm just zero research here. I'm just spitting it out there. I think there's a story from way back in the day where people were complaining there was a bunch of noise at midnight or 11 p.m. Just clang, clang, clang. And it turned out to be Tom Cruise running up and down the metal stairs in the fire escape. Made my way up to Soi 10. And now we're at the mall, Icon Siam. So I think I'm gonna switch to the other side and then maybe walk. I don't know. Yeah, I'll walk down the river. That's just all gonna be hotels. I'd rather show you what's off to the left here in the neighborhood, but maybe I'll do both. Like an idiot, I brought my battery pack, which is dead, so I'm gonna have to maybe go into one of these fancy hotels and give the concierge 100 baht and charge everything up. I'm sure he'd do it for free, but he'll be doing me a favor. Here we are on Charan Nakhon Soi 8, and it just has a very authentic 3-story walk-up Thai feel. Looks sharp. And as we peek through on the other side, yeah, I'm a lot closer to the Chao Phraya than I thought. I thought I was tucked away a ways, but I would guess that's 200 meters or less to the water. Right across from the Icon Siam is the Hilton Garden Inn. Maybe you can get a little bit more affordable room than staying right on the river, yet you're right near the Icon Siam. Now this is the Charan Nakhon Gold Line train station. If you wanted to not make the whatever it was, I probably could have did in 15 minutes without filming. Avoid the walk, I meant. I think it said it was a 16 baht ride on the new Gold Line. Once again, you're not going to be able to use your rabbit card. That's what's a little bit strange over here, is whenever they build a new train, and I'm not sure about the new Yellow Line, I think that's part of the MRT system, but I don't know much about the MRT. I do know when I take the BTS out to Bang Sue and I want to get on the new dark red line to head out towards immigration, that's a separate pay system. So just every time they build a new train, I think if it's a German company or a Canadian company, whatever, it's a different way to pay for the train. And on the other side of ICOM Siam is the ICS Lifestyle Complex. I see Starbucks. That's where you're going to find that Hilton. 7-Eleven. Just looks like a 2 or 3 story set of businesses right at the hotel. Looks like they have some form of Lotus, a Lotus Privy. I've never heard of that. I know there's the big Lotus and the small Lotus, and you know what? I'm not going to be able to get through here. The malls over here, they don't open till like 10 in the morning. And again, I'll put a link to my obligatory YouTube video of Fancy Thai Mall, and you can check out ICOM Siam. It is pretty nice. They did a fake floating market down in the basement, which is kind of cool. It's just little fake canals and people selling food off of boats and all. So yeah, check out ICOM Siam. There's a condo building not far away. It looks like it's called Sukhumvit, and I'm sure I'm doing this video wrong. I'm walking over here to probably one of the most expensive areas in town, where I should have maybe went in the other direction near the Thonburi BTS. Like I say, most people came over here to Thonburi to buy condos back in the day when you could get a really affordable deal over here. And I ended up walking over here towards all the 5-star hotels, but hey, I'm learning as I go. And yes, there's the sign, the Magnolias. I don't know what I called it, but the Magnolias Towers are now the tallest buildings in Bangkok, and next to that is the residence, the Mandarin Oriental Bangkok residence. I don't even want to ask what it costs to live there, but it's going to be New York City prices. Well, at least New York City prices in, say, the year 2000. It's still going to be a little bit more affordable over here for even the top-of-the-line accommodations. Here's the Millennium Hilton, right on the river. Made my way up to Charon Road. I'm gonna take a right on Soi 1 and see if I can make my way down to the water. I could probably try to cut through one of these sets of condos or hotels, but yeah, I'm just trying to stay out of people's way. It also says this is the way to the Klong San Pier. Obviously, there's all kinds of little piers to get across the Chao Phraya. Nice little morning market. I see a lot of people in uniform in the area, so there must be some form of government building, plus a lot of nurses. So there must be a hospital nearby. 8 o'clock in the morning. A lot of action at this little market. Clothes, food, pots and pans. Now I'm making my way to the pier. There's a lot of talk about soy dogs and rabies over here. To be quite honest, I'm a little bit more afraid of cats. You can see somebody obviously gives that cat, I assume it's just a homeless cat and somebody feeds it every day on the way to work. That's what that little bit of food was sitting there. But I have had or heard tales from people saying, you know, I went to pet a little cat, like if I were to pet that one and they're sometimes a little aggressive, takes a swipe or bite at you or draws blood, that is something you should probably go see a doctor about. There's all kinds of different feline diseases and all that some of these stray cats, I guess we'll call it, like the band from the 80s, they might get you sick. And it's not that I'm afraid of them. I'm just not, I like cats as much as the next guy. I mean, I'm a dog guy, but I don't know what they do to their tails over here, but it's a little unfortunate. Every cat you walk by is missing its tail. But I'm not gonna pet any cat. It looks like a photography or artwork framed. Playing little eagles in there. Sail, sail, sail. And here I'm at the pier, I guess, and here's the ferry rate, 5 baht. And I'm assuming that's to just get across the river. And 250 if you're over 60. Bicycles, another 10 baht. Yeah, and there's the ferry, and I shouldn't have said just to go across the river. They could make 3 stops on the other side of the river. I don't know. What little I know about the water taxis, and I did videos on that. I don't know how good they are. Basically, if you're a tourist or you're learning, go to Sapan Taksin, and for, I want to say 120 baht, maybe it's 160, you get an all-day pass on the tourist boat. And they give you a guide. They tell you get off here to check out this wat, get off here to go to the Grand Palace or Khao San, that kind of thing. These here are definitely more for the locals. You can use them, but there's not going to be any hand-holding or announcements, hey, get off here to get to the BTS. You got to figure it out on your own. Apologize for my atrocious grammar when you're talking and filming and trying to not stick a camera in somebody's face. Yeah, sometimes I throw out a got instead of a have, or a did instead of a done, and I apologize for that. It's not easy to do this filming and speaking at the same time and making everything come out 100% correct. So what I did was I popped out right there at the pier, and there goes the water taxi. The other thing I know about the water taxis is they're colored, so you can look up the blue. The blue is the only one I know. Let's say there's a blue, yellow, and an orange water taxis, and they all make different stops, kind of going up the Chao Phraya. The blue's going to stop in these 10 places. Again, I'm making all this up. The orange is going to stop at such and such piers. Across the way, I see the Siam Yacht Club. I'm not sure if that's the name of that beautiful building. I don't see another name. And then, so I popped through, and now I'm on the Chao Phraya. The Sapan Taksin would be over there somewhere. I don't know how far I walked down. I don't see the Taksin Bridge. That's where Sapan Taksin BTS is. Okay, yeah, I'm a ways down here because there's the hotel from Hangover. Standing right under the Mandarin, was it Oriental Residences? And I already forgot the name of the 2 tallest buildings in Bangkok, the condos, but there they are. So this is the waterfront access to those buildings. I think this right here, is the private boat for the Mandarin. A lot of these real fancy places, they have their own boats. Walking down the way, the gentleman told me, yeah, you might want to turn around or take your shoes off because the little path is just flooded here. So I'm not gonna go down that way. It's just flooded, huh? Plus it's kind of funky water. The mall's closed right now. I can't get over there, but this large pier area, it's on the right, is that, I can't even show it. That back there, ooh, look at this. Here comes a longtail boat, making good time. But this large pier area, wow, this large pier area right here is really busy and chaotic at night, and on the right is a large patio, whatever you want to call it. They'll have music and just 1,000 people hanging out from the mall or just enjoying as cool as it gets in the evening. I thought there might be a walkway or whatever you want to call it all the way down the river, and there's not, so I'm gonna have to turn around and backtrack. Here's a tugboat pulling 4 large barges of who knows what it is. And off in the distance on the other side of the river, I see the Shangri-La Hotel. That's actually pretty close to Sapan Taksin. I know that much because there's a bar. Hey, and I did a video on that. At the bottom of the Shangri-La is a really cool kind of neighborhood bar right on the river called Jack's. So I'll put that link in the video description as well. Jack's Bar. Yeah, and I didn't even see the flags. This does say this is the Hilton Hotel Resort private pier. And I'm back up to the little pier. It's been less than 10 minutes, so you can see at least this time in the morning, it's a little after 8. They come fairly frequent. It's not like you're gonna have to wait 20 minutes or a half hour. And there goes the barge just being towed, inching its way up the Chao Phraya. And that's the pier back there. A bunch of tourists coming off with yellow rental bikes. Here's some kind of restaurant that uses this riverfront area in the evening. And once again, it does not look like there's a walkway. You'd think there'd be maybe like a walkway going down the entire river, but I've listened to the Bangkok podcast, Ed and Greg. They both live over here in the Thonburi area. I really like it, and they have discussed how they don't utilize the river as much as they can. I mean, you think having like cool walkways on both sides of the river and all kinds of different businesses, like many cities around the world. It's not the greatest river, you know, it's kind of brown and whatever, but still any kind of water cools things down. I think this is actually a tour. Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's cool. Tours over here are fairly affordable, plus they have the old $20, I think, maybe less, hop on, hop off, red bus. Yeah, get on all those things, and just don't be afraid to get away from Sukhumvit. I mean, a lot of people come over here for a visit and they just never leave that 4 or 6 block area, and there's so much more to see. It'd be like going to New York City and just staying in Times Square and never going anywhere else. This looks like some kind of architectural firm, and another kitty cat, kitty. Yeah, that one can't be bothered. But then I'm walking back towards that main street again. I already forgot the name that the mall is on. Now, this is nice. I'll bet this comes alive at night. Little Airstream and some restaurants. I bet this little courtyard, I see the lights hung up, comes alive in the evening. Here is the library at Candidate. I can't read that. I need my glasses. Yeah, the library at Candidate. Okay. Another cat, missing tail. Check that. And we popped out in a neighborhood. I'm not sure where I'm at, but that ICOM Siam. Well, I guess I have the 2 largest towers in Bangkok to at least keep my bearings. We'll head in the opposite direction. The river's on our right, and see what's up here. It's really interesting to me. These people, these ladies that she's working her sewing machine and then has some food sitting out front. They're very hard working and have that entrepreneur spirit. As she's sitting there working on her sewing, she might as well have a little table there selling some goods. Some military person lost their medals, and a couple of I'm out of breath, I was running. I guess they're soldiers were walking by, so I'm gonna return the medals. Yeah, real nice ladies. I call them soldiers. I don't know what they are. They're probably just government workers. I think if you work at the whatever it is, the Office of Disease Control, you wear a uniform. Actually, I had a friend. She was in charge of, forgive me, it's hot, and I was running to get those medals. I'm sure they're just on a breakfast break. She wore a uniform, and she was the person in charge of giving permits for movie theaters. If you wanted to open a movie theater anywhere in Thailand, you had to go through her. And there's an ambulance for the Bangkok Taksin Hospital. So that's why I'm seeing so many nurses in the area. I'm not sure what soy this is. The one behind it was soy 1, so now we're going off in the other direction. The Chao Phraya will be right back here. Kind of a nice bit of recycling for some old tires. Got yourself a bench and a couple of seats. And that says the signal flagpole. The heat's got the better of the sign, so I can't read it. It's both in Thai and English. And that's another thing, when I watch YouTube videos, especially the guys in the Philippines, I like watching everything. But some of the guys in the Philippines are so negative on Thailand's, like, oh, I could never live there. They don't speak English, like here in the Philippines. Well, I've been to the Philippines, and I heard a lot more Tagalog than English half the time. That being said, everybody I deal with over here speaks perfect English. I mean, maybe not every motor taxi driver, but I'll put it at 90% of people, including those military or government workers I just talked to. They all spoke perfect English. You know, oh, of course, we'll put a group email out, and yeah, she said those medals are kind of, I'm calling them medals. They're ribbons that, in the Navy anyhow, each ribbon goes with a medal, but you don't wear medals all day, you wear the ribbons. And they said, yeah, those things are kind of expensive, not to mention it's a hassle. Plus the person's walking around like this young lady without her uniform in proper condition. Not her. Her uniform was fine. I met the person who no longer has their awards. This is looking off in the direction, actually it says the Department of Education, so there you go. So all these people in uniform are government workers at the Department of Education. And that signal pole, the sign was all tore up, but it said something about they used this tall flagpole to signal something, I think barges on the Chao Phraya, maybe a green-red flag or something, who knows. And I like seeing all this recycled use of things. I'm not a fanatic, but hey, why throw this stuff in a garbage can when you can take, what is that, 7 old motorbike rims bent and make yourself a nice little don't enter gate. And I've ran across the Pong Pachamit Fort. It says it was built in 1852. You can look that up. It says in 1949, the Pong Pachamit Fort was in a very dilapidated state. Thonburi municipality planned to demolish it, but they saved some of these bricks. So I guess this is what's left of it. A lot of history on the Chao Phraya, that's for sure. Okay, so really not much is left of it, but at least there's a little piece. And I don't like to put my camera in the face of Thai police officers, but this is the, what does that say? Samdet Chao Phraya Metropolitan Police Station, and they're all kicking back on the right, having a smoke, sitting on their motorcycles. They have, like Kawasaki 600s, like bigger bikes, and then they ride 2 guys on 1 motorcycle, probably so they can get around traffic. I mean, these are police vehicles. Mostly the police vehicles are trucks. In the back of this one, I see some riot gear. And what I was getting at with the Philippine YouTubers is, yeah, listen to them, but maybe a lot of those guys, they've never even came to Thailand. They just assume, hey, they only speak Thai, so I'm going to the Philippines where everybody learns English. They also learn English in school, especially in college here in Thailand. In fact, my friend, well, Ed, the guy from Bangkok podcast, it teaches classes full immersion in English. And there are some very, very sharp Thai people over here. But like I say, even just folks working in stores and all, they speak passable English. Some of them will be, no, I'm sorry, my English is terrible. And they'll say it exactly that way. And I'll say, you just said that sentence 100% correct. I don't know why you would say it's terrible. And for me personally, Thailand is just the way to go. I love it here. Nothing wrong with the Philippines. It's just a little bit, in my view, a little bit more rural. It's just a nice city. I love Bangkok. And this might actually be a bad idea. I think I'm in the policeman parking lot. So at some point somebody might, yeah, I am, because here's the police boat. Somebody's probably going to yell at me, hey, what are you doing down there? Well, they're not going to yell. They're going to be very polite about it, but let their intentions be known. And here's a typical police bike, CBR 300. So I think this is all police compound. Again, the police station's right there. I went to the river, and it looks like it might dead end here. Maybe that's that hospital. I'm gonna walk to the base here, but I might have to backtrack. Yeah, this says the investigation room. Let me see if I can go up and make a left at this alley. I kind of want to get out of here. This probably isn't the best place to be walking around filming. Couldn't get through there, so I do have to double back to where that fort was. Here's a little outdoor gym. So I've made my way out of that area, the affectionately known as brown shirts, the police officers. I have been coming over here, I don't remember the first time, it's a long time, and never had any problem with police officers. If you hear of people online or YouTube or whatever, oh, the cops this, that, whatever, I don't see it. These guys seem pretty mellow, and as far as if you're driving around a motorbike without your helmet on, yeah, you're maybe gonna get a ticket, and maybe you can get away with handling things right there on the street. So however you ethically feel about that, to me, if you want to call that extortion, fine, take the ticket, go to the police station and fight it. Me personally, the few times I've been pulled over in, say, California, I wish I could have handled things for what amounted to $5 or $10 or even $100 on the side of the road, rather than an $800,000 problem and wasting time in traffic school and on and on. I'm going to call it convenient if you're in fact breaking the law. I will concede that some things like this building, I saw some more government workers going in there. It's all in Thai. Agreed. In the Philippines, that would probably be in English, and 9 times out of 10 over here, it's in Thai and English right under it, but this building here is not. So I'll agree, if you have to do business with, this is probably the Department of Energy Inspection, yeah, you're gonna probably have to break out Google Translate. So I'm about 30% battery, and once again, I did not bring a charged battery charger. That's ICOM Siam on the left. That's the Hilton Garden, what's it called? The Hilton Garden Inn Tower on the right, and this is the Gold Line train, and the Thonburi BTS is off that way. I don't know how far now, maybe 2 kilometers. So I'm gonna go up here and take a right and keep going until I run out of juice on the battery here, and then I'll probably jump on this Gold Line and make my way back to the BTS. Now this is the last stop, at least for now, on the Gold Line, the Klong San. I don't know if that's 4 stops. Was it 3 or 4 stops from Thonburi BTS? And again, on the right, I think this is the other side of that large government building that I don't have any business with, and I would guess 99% of expats or more won't have any need to go in there. So the sign's in Thai, so be it. I'm not entirely positive, but I think this is a government hospital. I see a waiting area outside and an ambulance out front. Yeah, unless you're living over here and really have things figured out, probably with the help of a Thai person, you're probably not going to go to a government hospital. You're going to go to Bromengrat or one of the private hospitals and pay, I'm sure it's twice as much, but it's still fairly affordable, especially if you have insurance. And yeah, I highly recommend you don't walk around without some kind of insurance. And across the way is that I pointed out earlier, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, the Supalai building. And there it is. It looks like it's 20 stories. And this is the end of the Gold Line, but obviously it looks like they might continue on down the line at some point. But if you have to do business in this area or live over in this area or just want to be here, you've got a nice brand new Gold Line to connect you to the BTS. To be honest, from here I probably wouldn't even bother with the train. It's I would guess it's a 37 motorbot ride, maybe 47 bot. It's not far at all. So that Gold Line, I think, stops a little shorter than the normal BTS. I don't know, unless I've walked further than I'm thinking, and maybe I have. I get out here and just like walk like a fool. I'm not that far. I don't want to right now. It's getting hot, and I'm definitely going to take the train back. Enough's enough on these walks, but it doesn't seem like you're that far back. It seems like it'd be an easy motorbike ride. Bangkok construction site, another condo or office building going up. So that is a little peek around Thonburi. I'm sorry if I missed all the cool little soys tucked away back here, which I'm sure exist. I just kind of stuck to the touristy on the river area. Now see, for example, I was just looking at the map. That does, okay, I'm right here at the wherever I'm at on the Gold Line, the last stop, and that was Taksin Hospital, so obviously county hospital or a cheaper hospital for the locals. There's another hospital over here, but as I'm here looking at the map, the lady over here, she jumped out of the ticket office like, hey, here's a Farang sitting here staring at a map, let me come help him. And she spoke perfect English, and this is a lady just working in the ticket booth. So there you go. I'll leave it up to you. Just before you discount Thailand, I just really hate guys that maybe, hey, I was in Thailand 2 days and they don't speak English. I just don't understand that. I mean, think what you want to think, but hey, you know, I'm living here. I'm telling you, come check it out. So where I'm going is up here off the map back to the BTS, but this is just showing you what we did. We came down the road. ICOM Siam was on this side. We went over here to the pier area. We came back over here somewhere was the Department of Education, and back over here was the police compound. Then I made my way back over here by the hospital. I'm jumping on the train. I'm going back. It's going to go off here to the right, and that will be Thonburi BTS. There goes a nice bike. Thank you so much for at least following along, and consider subscribing if you haven't. I appreciate it. Have a great morning.